Welcome to The Voice of Putnam County Business, brought to you by the Putnam County Business Council, where we interview the individuals who are shaping the business climate and economic development of our county and explore their leadership ideas. Our co-hosts, who are also board members of the Business Council, are Nick D'Andrea, General Manager of Park Ford, and Nat Prentice, Principal of Prentice Investment Management, LLC. We'll get to today's conversation right after a brief message from our premier sponsor.
When Country Willow Furniture found people staying at home instead of furnishing their homes during the pandemic, the store worried about the loans that fueled their dramatic growth. But Tompkins Bank knew that solid relationships, like solid furniture, last far into the future. The value of a bank in your corner, the values of a bygone era. Tompkins gives you both, and the best banking relationship you'll ever have. Tompkins, your bank of choice. Find out more at tompkinsbank.com.
Thank you for joining. Now let's get to our show.
All right, we are back once again on the Voice of Putnam County Business, and I am excited today to officially announce our Legislative Priorities series. And I am joined not only by Nat Prentice, but also Jennifer Maher this time, and she's going to be on the series with us the entire time. So this is really a treat, and it's fantastic, and we have some great talking points that we'll start off with today and go over what we're doing and why we're doing this Legislative Priorities series. Nat and Jen, welcome.
Good seeing you. Can't think of a group I'd rather be with than you two.
Yes, and I'm so excited for us to be getting back to the basics and where we started at the Putnam County Business Council.
Yeah, so why don't we start there, Jen? Because, I mean, as the founding chairwoman of the Putnam County Business Council, tell us and our listeners about the basics. What are the basics of the Putnam County Business Council?
So Nat will recall, because Nat has been in it from the very beginning, but really, yes, the whole idea of the Putnam County Business Council came out of when I was chairwoman of the Mahopac Carmel Chamber of Commerce. And I was getting a little frustrated because we did such a great job with like tree lightings and all other things of that nature. But I had businesses that had issues, concerns, were scared, going out of business. And we didn't really have a forum or a format to help them and address those issues. I think the role of a chamber is a little bit different. And there really was no business organization in the county that was advocating for the business community, the business climate, and things of that nature. So got together with some of the leaders throughout the county that were with other chambers of commerce, and we decided we were going to form this organization that was called something else at the time. It was called the Putnam County Chambers of Commerce, and we were really just going to focus on a couple of things. We were going to focus on advocacy and being the champions of the business climate in Putnam County and economic development. We were also going to be like the opportunity to have true countywide networking at that time and also some education. And so we did that very effectively for many, many years. I have to tell you, Mary Ellen Odell was an outstanding county executive for us to be working with. She really helped steer the direction of the Putnam County Business Council and helped us really be able to work closely with the county on issues that were happening. We were literally, anything that was happening countywide and statewide and also federal, although there's not as much, people would come to us first and allow the stakeholders who any new legislation or old legislation or proposed legislation, how it would impact those stakeholders, get their input from the business community. And it was just a beautiful thing. And Nat, you want to continue to talk about how we then went on to do the Legislative Priority Booklet and the Roundtable?
I do, Jen, but not before I just tell you how much I appreciate your steadfastness on this particular project, because my observation these days is that the business community is still underrepresented in various circles. So I think what we're doing really is the right thing to be doing. And I'm pleased to be associated with this re-energizing of our process. And I think it's really important because if we are successful in really understanding what the businesses need and want, then we will be able to do what we did in the past, is write that up, actually put it in a very usable form. A book that we called those days, and we're going to call again, a Legislative Priorities Report. And we are going to address legislation at all levels. You mentioned all the various government levels. I mean, I think primarily we'll be talking about the various state laws that we have to live with in the business community, but the county from time to time puts legislation in front of the business community, in many cases without much discussion with the business community. So there will be a booklet once we've finished this survey, and we will then, when the time is right, we've got an election cycle coming up, but once that's behind us, we can present this booklet to the legislators, to the elected officials. We'll have what we used to call, and Jen, you would only be able to do it justice. Remind us of what the roundtable series was. Nick and I, we're going to help you produce this booklet, but how are we going to present it? And what's the process for getting it into the elected officials?
Yeah, so we're basically going to spend now through the entire summer surveying the business community on different topics, which we'll get into. And then we're going to collect that information. We also partner with the Westchester Business Council, who does a fantastic job of really scouring through the state budget and state legislation and staying on top of that for many, many years. So we get to work with them. So we already have a lot of that information. So we put all that together, what we gather on a local level, what we gather working with Westchester Business Council on a state and federal level, and we put it into a legislative priority booklet. We get it out to the elected officials and the business community. And then we put together a forum where we all get to come together and talk about it. And it's a very unofficial, we're not really inviting the public. We're not going to hold people out, but it's not about that. This isn't about, it's conversation and solutions, right? Not about pointing fingers and having a political circus go on. It's really about being able to communicate the concerns of the business community, the needs and the wants of the business community to the elected officials.
Yeah. No, I remember attending a few of them. Nick, you never lived. You're just too young a guy and to remember did you ever go to a roundtable meeting, Nick? Because they were
no.
His dad did.
They were really good. We had the whole group time, but Jen was right about we somehow or another, I think it's just Jen's force, her mojo that kept everybody in line. I mean, there was it did not turn out to be a yelling match and a who struck John kind of match. It was really, and things came out of it. I mean, we couldn't cover all of it in one session, and we'll probably have to figure out a way to have more than one session, but we had these really awfully good discussions. And if we can do our job, and we've got a lot of work to do because there's a whole summer ahead of us. So Nick, tell me what I'm going to be doing this summer, and how often I'm going to see you, and how we're going to go to who we're going to find, and how we're going to talk to them, and all that.
So that's what this is all about. So that's what we're getting the word out on right now, and that's what this Legislative Priorities series is going to help us do. So we are going to be interviewing and speaking to professionals and really the people that are best in their industry to talk to us about some of the questions that we have to help create this legislative booklet. So we're going to be talking from people from the restaurant industry, from agriculture, from retail, you name it. We want to speak to those people on our podcast and talk about some of the survey questions that we have created. But this is also open to anybody out there that's in the business community. And it's going to be on our website on PutnamCountyBusinessCouncil.com for you to fill out these survey questions. Tell us what's going great. Tell us what is struggling, where you need help. Is it taxes? Is it going to be certain legislation that's going to help with infrastructure? Stuff like that is what we need to hear, because we need to pass that along to the elected officials that have the ability to make those changes that are necessary for your business. So that's what we're going to be doing during the Legislative Priority Series, and we need to be interviewing the people. So anybody that's out there that wants to raise their hand, that wants to be on this show and telling us about what you feel is best for our elected officials to hear, we want to hear from you as well.
And I was going to say, because legislation can be like an intimidating word if you're not really involved with politics. And it's not all about legislation. It's also about that business climate that I mentioned earlier. For example, there was an issue this year about Fair Street being shut down for like 2 or 3 weeks, and the businesses really didn't have fair warning. And even if the businesses didn't have fair warning, we felt that if that information had been distributed to the business leaders, we could have done a good job of just, doing social media posts or different things to talk about those businesses. Like, you might have to park somewhere else, but please make an extra effort to go there and visit them. Just things of that nature, like I've seen also just lots of opportunities where I see things happening on the county level where we could get businesses more involved with some of the things that they are doing so that there's more exposure. So it's not all just like legislation, even though we put it under that umbrella, but there's a lot of things that impact the overall business climate and temperature.
Yeah. I think it's vital that we have that open line of communication amongst everybody, right? Amongst the business community, amongst elected officials, because the more we know, the easier it is for us to tackle something that's going to come down the future, just like you said about Fair Street. So,
and Jen, you are just a master of various channels of communication. I mean, I'm okay. Nick and I have actually made a lot of progress with the podcast. I think we've had some lovely guests, and we'll have some more, but that's not everybody. And there are a lot of people out there that are going to want to participate in this in a variety of ways. So, Jen, help me understand all the ways that we're going to be reaching out to the business community and ways that they can give us input. They won't have to be on the podcast if they don't want to.
No, we're
a legislative meeting if they don't want to. They can somehow or another see a short video and take a short survey.
So we are going to be blasting out a series. We're going to have this podcast, obviously. We'll make some reels out of it. We're going to have the blog, different series of blogs approaching what we're looking to do from different angles, different perspectives. And that will all be going out through social media and email. And like Nick mentioned, we will have a nice big button on the homepage at PutnamCountyBusinessCouncil.com. I'm trying to unblock. I have it blocked right now, but anyway, it's PutnamCountyBusinessCouncil.com, and there'll be a nice big button there for you to take that survey. And if you could share the survey with other business owners, we're going to tap into the other business organizations and business leaders for them to spread it out to their members. We really want to get, like, if we can get even 50%, like that's a huge goal, but really get input. We want the business community to feel seen and heard, not feel. We want them to be seen and heard. So that's the goal, and we'll be getting it out, but we'll need your help, business community, to get the message and the word out.
One note for traditionalists out there: we have enlisted the help of the Putnam County Press and Times. Holly Greco, the editor who we had as a guest on the podcast. And for those of you who like reading a newspaper,
yes, I forgot.
We're going to have regular articles there in the Putnam Press. So we're going to get you any way we can, because we really would like we know you're underrepresented. We would like your views to be organized in a way that they would be meaningful to the legislative process. But we got to get you in a way that you are comfortable with. So we'll see many of you on the podcast, but we're going to that won't do it. We need a lot of you to help us get this word out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about it, and I think it's going to be some interesting conversation of just aside from the survey itself. I think we're going to have some interesting conversation from those podcast guests talking about some of the stuff that they've probably been working on for a while, especially if they're a part of a state association already that they're already involved in and kind of working on some of these initiatives behind the scenes that we're not even sure about. So I think we'll probably run into some of that as well.
And we're going to make sure everybody recognizes that this is a political season out there, but don't be worried. We're not going to fill up the podcast airspace with a lot of politics. This is going to be business people talking about their business. And
zero politics. And that's not always the easiest thing to do, but we really want to talk about what's going to better our county. We want to talk about infrastructure, and we want to talk about the things that impact the business community, the right kind of development, and things of that nature. Politics at the door.
Yeah.
So if somebody's listening to this podcast, or those that are listening, and they want to be on it, Nick, what do they do? What's the best way to make sure that we hear about those people out there?
I mean, probably the best way to do is really to reach out to myself or you or Jen directly. You can certainly reach out to me on my email, which I think it should be on the Putnam County Business Council website. If it's not, then I will get it on there ASAP. But certainly I would love to hear from anybody that wants to be on the podcast, because the more information we have, the better.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, I think we have a wrap, and we will be interviewing our first guest is going to be Nick D'Andrea of Park Forward. So we can talk about
this guy. He's
we want to be capturing, different industries and some of the major industries that are here in Putnam County. So not-for-profit is actually one of those, and automobile and real estate and construction and finance and retail and different representatives. So we will kick it off with Nick, and I'm excited.
Stay tuned.
And remind me of this. This is, you used the term, and I love it. This is one conversation about business community climate, but we're going to do it in a number of formats. And I look forward to joining you in that effort. And it's true, I like spending time with you guys. So I think it'll work out fine.
Awesome. All right, everyone. See you soon.
Take care.
Today's Voice of Putnam County Business podcast is sponsored by Prosperous Gen, helping entrepreneurs and franchises build businesses that support the life of their dreams. Check out prosperousgen.com, prosperousgen with 2 N's.com. We're also proudly sponsored by Park Ford, located on Route 6 in Mayapack. Whether you're looking to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Park Ford's team delivers an exceptional experience from the showroom to the world-class service bay. Contact General Manager Nick D'Andrea at 845-628-8800. Park Ford isn't just a dealership, they're a trusted partner for all your automotive needs.